What's up, everyone? Welcome back to the All Things Teens podcast.
Yeah.
We're here with your host, Akintune Idau, and your co-host, or Elizabeth Idau. Yeah. So in today's episode, we're going to be talking about friendships.
Yeah. And do you know the interesting thing actually is, I don't know if you guys will get to eventually pick a topic for us, but somewhere along the line, I wrote a couple of titles because I don't know which one would fit. Do you want to check your stuff there? Maybe.
Yeah, on the top here.
Yeah, I think it should be somewhere on the top.
I think here.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So we have something like Vibes and Bonds, the ultimate friendship playbook, bestie blueprint, that's navigating friendship one level at a time, friendship foundations, how strong bonds lead to stronger relationships, friendship goals, leveling up your relationship. I think I like the friendship goals. What do you think?
I like friendship goals. I like that one. Yeah.
So today we're actually talking about friendships. Obviously, we all have friends. But then sometimes we mistake people who are not friends for friends, people who are just acquaintances as friends. And I guess the whole purpose of this podcast is trying to understand the different levels of relationships, that people can evolve into or evolve from. And, last week was it last week or 2 weeks ago?
2 weeks ago.
Yeah, we missed the episode last week. Sorry. So, 2 weeks ago, we're doing something around talking stages.
Yeah.
And it's beautiful that we talked about perspectives of guys, perspective of ladies, what people should discuss, what they shouldn't discuss, what it entails basically. But then I'm also seeing it from another angle, which is it's good for us to have an idea of how to really get into even dating, right? Last week we talked about that dating is not exactly scriptural. It's not part of God's word. It's not part of, what the Bible has stated. Yeah. But it's something that is necessary, right, for young people to connect, to communicate and stuff like that. And before you can get to dating, you need to build friendship. Yeah. So that is what today's episode is all about. What do you understand by friendship?
Well, friendships are I feel like everybody should have friends. Because friends are your backbone in the hard times. They're there in the good times. They're rejoice with you.
Yeah. And
what I understand of friendship is someone that you can just trust, that you can lean on, that is loyal to you, that you can laugh with, you can cry with, you can hug anytime and they won't question it.
Yeah.
It's just someone that is just there. Because sometimes it's lonely just being alone, and we just need people. I believe that God made us to be with people.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah, that's let me also bring a perspective from the Bible. So there's this book, I think it's the book of Psalms, and then maybe Psalm 68 verse 6. I'm not sure.
You even know the verse.
I'm not sure. But then it was talking about how God sets the solitary in families, which is that every single one of us have been designed to belong to a particular family. And that could be your biological family. It could also be just your environment, your society, your cultural society as well, and stuff like that. And just like you said, friendship really, it's first of all a ship of friends. Ooh.
The metaphor
really
here.
Sounds like a good one.
Yeah.
But it's a ship of friends in which that you have two people with a common goal, common direction, common objective, coming together to help one another. Sometimes you could have your friend who is down and then you're there to lift them up. You could be the one who is down and they lift you up. But I think what is also happening is that in our society today, when we meet people, we just tag them as friends, which I think shouldn't be the case, because there are levels to these things. And the crux of our discussion today would then be a book review, which is something I also kind of did a study on. it's the book is titled Waiting and Dating by Miles Monroe.
I like that title.
Yeah,
I like that title.
Waiting and Dating. And this is actually chapter 2, I think. Chapter 2 of the book, right? So we was talking about friendship building, and I just want us to like discuss some sort of different levels of friendship that exist. So number 1 is actually acquaintanceship. Do you agree?
Yeah, like I would say, like when you're starting school or something, for an example, it's the first day, you want to make friends, and then you get into groups, different kinds of groups, but they might not actually be your friends.
Yeah.
They're your acquaintances, the people that you sit beside in class, that you talk to, like only about school, maybe about sports if you do sports. So I agree with that. That's like the first level that you go through, and then that just builds into a deeper relationship.
No, that's good. Obviously, there are like, let's first of all mention how many levels do we have? I think we have like 4 levels. I think we have 4 levels of friendship according to the book. So 1 is acquaintanceship, the other one is casual friendship, the third one is close friendship, and the fourth one is intimate friendship. And we're going to dissect each of them. So you said acquaintanceship is like when you have friends in class and then you kind of are just getting to
know each other.
Yeah, more like classmates kind of thing. You don't really know too much about them. Now, a good question for you is, how did you meet your friends, like the friends that you have now? And I presume you have quite maybe 3 to 4 at least of them. How did you start up the friendship process?
The funny thing is, I don't remember. I don't know. I don't remember how I became friends.
So you never had any point where you were just like, hey, I want to be your friend.
Like for me, I met my friends, like the close friends I have now, I met them in primary school, so everybody was just like open, we're all friends. But as we like went up in like our classes, as we grew up, we've just stuck together since then. So I don't remember the exact moment we became friends, but I just knew that we just clicked instantly.
So the bond was part
there.
of the things that. But like obviously, like I mean, let me use the closest example we can reference, which is church, right? So in church, you have like people who are always coming. They call them first timers. They're like, hey, welcome to church and stuff like that. So when people come into church, how do you go from, like, obviously, I'm sure there's maybe 1 or 2 people in church who are your friends now who were not initially. How did you guys start up your friendship process? What was the thing? Who said hi first,
I think like it was children's class, like being in that environment together. We kind of like, not were forced, but we were just like, it kind of gravitated to us just saying hi. I think like I said hi first. I don't remember it clearly, but I think I said hi first, and then we just started talking about what we're doing in class, and then we just like the conversation went on from that. Like I asked like, what's your favorite color or something like that, and then it just went on. Yeah.
No, that's good. And again, like part of the reasons why we are doing this episode is just to help people who are struggling to build friendships. Some people are introverted. Some people don't actually know how to like start up a relationship building process and stuff like that. So it's nice for them to have at least a step-by-step guide, sort of to like building something. And I remember that like maybe one of the ways to start, like when you meet a new person in a room, one of the good ways to start would be to like talk about, like obviously greet them, sometimes even compliment their appearance.
Actually, that's how a lot of friendships start. Actually, like I don't know where I was hearing it, probably a YouTube video, and it was 2 YouTubers, and they like one complimented the other person's like outfit and all. And then they just clicked from there. Like,
oh, you look nice. Thank you, girl.
It happens like that. So many times. Like even me in school, I remember we had our graduation night, and it was the first time I was seeing people out of their uniforms. So I was like, oh my goodness, everybody looks so nice. So I started complimenting them, and then it just like flowed into a conversation.
Good spirits, good energy, and stuff like that. And I think that's really important. Like, obviously, like today, someone even told me that like I'm wearing a nice suit and stuff like that, which is And you have you have a lovely hair, and I think I complimented your skin as well.
Yeah.
You know? So I think it's just really beautiful, right? Oh. So I think it's just really beautiful. Who is making noise there?
I think
do you want to feature on the podcast? Okay, so back to what we were discussing. So like I was saying that like obviously like sometimes you need to I lost my train of thought. What was I saying?
I don't know.
Compliments.
Yeah, compliments.
Yeah, so someone told me that like you're wearing a nice suit and with a good smile, by the way, and I was just like, oh, thank you, and that was a good place to like start a conversation. How are you? You look great yourself and stuff like that. So I think it's like you said, it's just a very good like, would I say, tip or hint to start a conversation, a good conversation starter.
Yeah.
I think another nice one would be to just when you meet people, just ask about like how they are or like maybe their names and stuff like that.
Yeah. Like that's like the basicest one. I don't think that's a word. The most basic one is just asking people like how they are, and then
how are
like,
you?
How are you? They'll say I'm good. How are you? And then you just start from there. Like it's so.
Let's do a demo here. Let's do a demo here. So just pretend. I know you can't pretend, but just try to pretend like you haven't known me. So you start a conversation.
Oh,
I'm busy, serious reading.
Okay. Oh, hi there. How are you today?
Oh, I'm fine, thank you. How are you?
I'm good. It looks like you're very busy today.
Yeah, just trying to get through a couple of stuffs there.
I hope it's not taking too much time.
It's all right. It's all right. How are you?
I'm good. Just strolling around here. Yeah, I saw you in your suit. It's looking nice, very nice, very dapper.
Thank you. Just decided to show up today. It's something.
Yeah, it's nice. It's
thank
nice.
you. That's so nice of you.
I think you should give me some tips or something like that.
Oh, come on! You're just trying to be humble. And then the conversation goes from there. Let me try. Okay. So,
what am I doing? Am I just walking around?
Oh well. I mean, just sit down. So, hello, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good myself. You have a lovely smile. I love it.
Thank you. Oh, stop.
What's your name?
My name's Elizabeth.
Oh, my name is Akitunde. So nice to meet you. Wow. Do you live around here?
I do. I live in Swords.
Wow. How long have you been here?
Oh, too long.
Oh, my.
Too long.
And you like the environment?
Very nice people here.
Yeah, that's good. That's really good. I also live somewhere around here myself.
Really?
But just moved in recently, so it's been a little bit like learning about the environment.
A bit hectic.
Yeah. But it's nice. It's nice. Yeah. I mean, it's good that you're around. So what are you doing today? Any plans for the day?
Not really. I'm staying here, waiting. But after going home. Might go to Lidl or something.
Good. That's good. So what you probably must have observed from this demo, which might look awkward, is that we made the conversation about the other person, not about ourselves. Like I didn't come to you and say, hey, my name is Akitunde. Do you know who I am? Like I live here. It would be so weird. Like you probably wouldn't even want to listen to me or give me a listening ear. But then when I made it about you, learning about you, asking questions about you, and I could ask you about your family, your education, a lot of stuff, your interest, your passion and stuff like that. I think that gives an opportunity for you to respond and for me to learn more about you, which is what friendship is about anyways, like learning about each other and helping each other and growing together.
Even in like those kinds of conversations, you find like common interests as well.
Yes.
And then you just build from there.
Yes.
Like one person might be going into concerts and they're going to next Taylor Swift concert. And then the other person's going to next Taylor Swift concert and they become very friends. Yeah.
No, that's good. That's good. And that's acquaintanceship for you, okay? So acquaintanceship really is all about like meeting people, learning about what they're about, and them also finding about what you're about. And from there, we then go to the next level of this friendship, which is casual friendship. What is casual friendship? Well, based on what we wrote down from the book, is based on common interest. People have common interest. They now start moving together. So, and I think we see that a lot, So, for example, students, most of them just are casual friends. They don't really, many times they don't have, like, for example, spiritual connections, or it might just be schoolwork that is bringing them together. That's quite different from acquaintanceship. Acquaintanceship is more or less like you're just meeting someone, you don't have any clue about who they are.
Yeah.
So you're just trying to be polite and get to me like, hey, how are you? And then from there, from your questioning, you can then move to the next level of friendship. What do you have to say about casual friendship?
I feel like literally what you said, like it's just like finding a common interest and like doing things together, like in that common interest. It's like not really on a emotional level or a deeper level, but it's like, found this restaurant. I know you love food. Let's go to this restaurant together.
Yeah. Like we went to Wings, I think last week.
For my birthday.
That was like good food, bro.
Yeah,
like, it was really good. It pained me so much that I didn't have appetite that day. My God.
I ate like 5 plates.
Oh my
of food.
God!
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure they'll tell you not to come again.
Maybe.
So, and that's it. Like casual friendships, it's really about like once you start finding out, because a lot of times once you ask people questions about and you start learning about them, sometimes you kind of see that like you guys are not really clicking or like you don't really have much interest or more like common goals and stuff like that. So you're just like, it will just probably be maybe it's gonna stay at acquaintanceship level. Oh my God.
You got it.
So it's gonna stay at acquaintanceship level because the best you can do is just say, like I have like friends who we just this, like guys especially. Most guys are on acquaintanceship levels. I'm telling you, a lot of guys don't even know they don't know their names. Like, for example, I can meet you as a Ghanaian. Brother, how are you? Good to see you, man. I was like, yeah, good man. How's everything? Yeah, fine, my friend. You look alright, bro. Like, you're doing okay. And then the next time they see each other again, hey man, what's up? Nice one.
They don't know their name.
So when you put them say under the same environment and then maybe for whatever a conversation then stirred up, or like they're like, oh, you probably know this person, and it's just like, no, I don't know him. Like we just great.
They'll be like, I know of him.
I know of him, but like I don't know his name. Like,
Yeah.
what's your name, bro? like guys do a lot of that. I don't know if females do that.
No.
Not really.
No.
Yeah. Because I think you guys are usually more emotionally tied. Like, because guys are like, once they have nothing to benefit from, they're just like, let's move on to the next, So it's very light-hearted, So for guys, they do more of acquaintanceship. But obviously, like with the casual friendship, there's now more commonness in terms of like what you guys have. And I think after that, we now have the third one, which really speaks to close friendship. And this is when people now get to look out for each other's interests and like do things together. For example, we are close friends now. We are podcasting together and stuff. So we are podcasting together, and sometimes you might even be with your siblings. Like you might have that kind of close friendship. And again, like all of this is to say that like you don't just meet people and just like them like that, or just like a lady as a guy like that, or just like a guy, just like
it takes
friendship.
time.
Yeah, like friendship is the best way to build like a good relationship, whether a romantic relationship or just platonic friendship, or even marriage. Like friendship is the best way. Like obviously, like I see a lot of married couples today, and even like I would probably give an example. I remember there's this church I went to when I was in Nigeria. It's actually in Ogun State, right? And then they were having like maybe a couple's Sunday or like a family Sunday or something like that. And then the husband and wife, I saw this husband, and like there are a lot of them in the church, but like I'll just make an example of this particular husband and wife. The husband sat down at one end of the room, the wife sat down at another end of the room. This was a couples or family Sunday or something like that, so you would expect that people,
they were together.
There would be more. Do you get what I mean? But then when it was time to take pictures and stuff like that, the husband stood up and then was like, was telling the wife, like no romantic gesture, nothing sweet and kind and stuff like that. Just, and then it was like, oh yeah. And I was just like, God, if this is how like relationships are, I don't want it, But it's just to tell you that like a lot of times people can be like that, and many times you'll see that relationships like or marriages like that, they never actually had any friendship, because obviously you can't have your friend and you guys should just be like that. What do you think?
Yeah, I feel like that as well, because like you can't really be friends when you're sitting on one side of the room and the other person's on the other side of the room. Like even in class, you obviously keep a seat for your friend. Of course, like me every single time. Like I'll even put all my books on my my bag on the table.
Like, there's somebody there.
Yeah. But I feel like in marriages, I feel like the ones with the friendships, like that foundation of friendship, lasts longer. Because like friendships, like you probably have long-lasting friends that like until like when you die, you'll still even be friends with them or in heaven or something like that. Like I feel like if you have a foundation of friendship, your marriage will last longer, because it's not going to be like you guys fighting and then you're just like in one separate corner or something, and then you're not willing to communicate, or you're not willing to understand the other person. But in friendship, it's like you're like, okay, we're getting through this together. I know it's hard, but like
we'll get through it.
We'll get through
this is not
it.
the first time we're going through something.
Yeah.
No, that's nice, and this actually begs the question. I'm going to refer to something that I think we discussed maybe 2 weeks ago. A lot of people talk about how God gives them spouses. Now, personally, I might be wrong, but personally, I don't believe that God gives people spouses.
Okay, explain.
I would. I believe you can pray to God to open your eyes to see, but God doesn't choose people for you, because you're going to blame Him if it doesn't work out. Do you get what I mean?
Yeah.
God never chose our salvation. Like the best God did was to plead with us and say, hey, look here, I have something that I think is going to be of benefit for you. And I think the way you're living right now is not the best life you can live. Like if you come and accept me, like I have something even much better for you. And it's just pleading. Like you can choose to accept or reject. It never forces anything on you.
That's true.
Do you get, like your choice is still intact. So you get to choose whether to accept Him or not. So why would it be a case of marriage that like God would now say that like, well, this is the person I have for you, and you have to. Do you get what I mean? Like
I get what you mean, yeah. But it's like I kind of get what you mean.
Yeah.
But it's like how like would you say that God doesn't actually pick the person, you kind of find the person? You are the one, you will be the one to make the decision at the end of the day. Yeah, because we have the free will. I just feel like a lot of people, they shroud this thing under the context of spirituality, because it sounds very nice. It's like, God gave me my spouse and stuff. I mean, it sounds very deep and stuff like that. But like, you picked the person. Don't lie to us. You picked the person. What God can do is God can bring you in contact with people. Like we said, that God sets solitary in families. God can set you amongst people who have aligning beliefs. Do you understand what I'm saying? Like, imagine if you say that God gave you somebody and you guys don't have common interests. You are not friends and stuff like that. What kind of marriage would that result in? Do you get what I mean? I get what you mean. It's just like, I don't know. Like, it doesn't really sit well with me. Like, how can you, how can you be in a marriage? Yeah. Like, it's a God-centered marriage. Right? Yeah. and God didn't. But God is like, nah, this might not be the person for you, or like, something's gonna happen down the line.
Yeah.
But and then he just doesn't do anything, kind of thing. But I get what you mean. Like, we are the one that chooses it, because God gave us free will.
Yeah.
Like, we have the power to choose who we want to marry.
We can ask God to show us who is right for us. But at the end of the day, it's still our decision to make. Like, you can reject whatever God shows you.
Yeah.
You know, people have revelations, dreams about their spouses all the time. People even receive their spouses through the word of God. Like, they, maybe while reading the Bible, you know, a name or something, like a situation just pops up differently and stuff like that. But at the end of the day, God never chooses anybody for anybody. Do you get what I mean? Yeah. You choose, you make the decision. God can what? He can guide you. That's all he does.
Yeah.
Do you get what I mean? So I'm just trying to like debunk that view that like, oh, God chose, because people would blame God at the end of the day when the marriage is not working out, you know, and they are the ones not making it work. You know, it's not God, because they are the ones in the marriage. Yeah,
I get what you mean. Like, it's kind of like the view of God gives us wisdom.
Yeah.
And he gives us the wisdom to know the right person for us.
But you can still make foolish decisions.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
Yeah. So
I kind of see that.
Yeah. So that being said, when it comes to like marriages, obviously, like, if before you can marry someone, you want to be friends with that person.
Yeah, of course.
And if you see a lot of couples today, this is my understanding of what marriage is meant to be. Two people who are going in the same direction, and two people who have the same similar values. It might not be 100% the same, but very similar. At least there are some things they call non-negotiables.
Yeah.
Do you get what I mean? So the non-negotiables, they are very, very similar. Things that that they can drive wedge in your marriage. There are things that you both share. Do you get? So you do you understand what I'm saying? For example, your faith, spirituality, do you believe in God? Do I believe in God? Do you get what I mean?
Yeah.
What kind of God are we serving? Stuff like that. These are core questions. Do you believe in submission? Do you believe in love and unity? These are core questions that
important things. Yeah.
But then there are other things like, okay, maybe sharing money, like responsibilities. Some people believe it should be 50-50. Some other people believe it's 100-0. Other people like 60-40. But those are like, there are things that like you can negotiate on, But I believe strongly that like for people who want to get married, there has to be things that like you can, because when you get married, if you get married based on love, once you get married and you start having kids, what are you guys going to be doing if you never had things you were doing together before?
That's very true.
Do you get what I mean?
Yeah.
Like a lot of marriages that we see today, the reason is why like they are not in love is because they don't really have things that they are doing together.
Yeah.
What strengthens the people who are together till today is that either they are doing stuff together, like running a business together, doing ministry together, maybe they go out for sports or recreation stuff together, but like there's something that they are doing, that serves as an impact or value that they're offering the world or something like that. Jigga.
Yeah, like I agree what you said before. You were like, they have to have the same values and the same goals, because if one person is going this way and the other person is going this way, it's like this person wants to do what they want to do, and this person wants to do what they want to do. So it's like they keep clashing heads
it's not
every
gonna
time.
Work.
Yeah. So it's like it's very important to have that common interest, or even that just going on the same path.
Yeah.
Like, I want to start a business, and the wife maybe is the one doing, I don't know, like finding the places and stuff, and then the man's doing like the finances and stuff. So they're working to their strengths while they're doing something together. Yeah. No,
I totally, and again, this is not to say that like they have to do the same thing.
Yeah.
Like if you're talented in singing, I don't have to be a singer or be playing musical instruments. But the fact that we both have an understanding that, okay, this is where, we're going, then it makes sense, and this is why when we're talking during the talking stage, one of the things I raised was, it's good to find out about each other's vision. And although like you guys are like, like you don't bring that deal, but like it sounds awkward, but like what's the purpose of a marriage or like a romantic relationship when you don't like have like the same stuff? That, do you get what I mean?
Yeah, because I feel like in the world, like when they're dating, they have relationships for like 2 years, but they don't know each other's vision. So then it ends up just leading in heartbreak. Yeah. And both people are like broken at the end because they thought it was gonna last for long, but they never had the same vision in the first place. Yeah. So,
and I think a core problem again in our society today is, especially with what they call hookup culture. Yeah. So people go into like physical intimacy first of all before everything else, navigating the spiritual connection, the like learning about each other's goals and stuff like that. And because once people start having sex or they start getting physical with one another, you can't think again. It's true, you can't think again because like everything is shrouded by emotions now. You're just like, I love you, I love it, I love you, I love it, and like emotions everywhere, chemicals everywhere, you know. So people really don't get to like discuss and talk about, and this is why like God knows, I'm never in support of anything called hookup culture. Never in support of anything called like having like physical intimacy first. Like I believe first thing to establish is your spiritual connection. When you want to get married to someone, like be sure that this person believes in the same God that you serve, and they share the same level of faith with you. You might not have the same level of maturity, but you are both working towards that direction. Yeah. Do you get what I mean?
And it's like friendship when someone's down here and another person is down here, you help them to go back up.
Just like the Bible says in Proverbs 27:17, it says, iron sharpens iron. Yeah. So does a man sharpens, the countenance.
Yeah. It's like
iron sharpens iron. So does a man sharpens the countenance of his friend. I don't know if he's sharpened, but yeah. More reason to study the Bible more. But yeah, that's the core of it. I believe that when they say you can do relationship the right way and get the right results. You can't follow worldly system and want to get godly results. It's not possible. Marriage is God's design, God's idea. It's not the world's idea. And so if you want to get a good marriage, that is devoid of scars and pain and all the hurts that comes with it, you have to do it God's way. And God's way is first of all you people having a level of spiritual connection that you share, your faith, discussing what's your understanding about God, what's your understanding about our faith. What do we share? Do we have do we believe in the same God? You can't be an Hindu and I'm a Christian and we're going to work together. We'd have clashes.
I was watching last night. I was watching a show on TLC. It was, I can't remember, but it was just documenting like people's lives from different religions. Yeah. Like one girl might be, a man was Amish. Do you know the Amish? Yeah. And the girl wasn't like, she didn't really believe in anything. So the man would kind of expect the girl to follow Amish traditions and all these things, but the girl didn't want to do it. So it kind of like, when you don't have that foundation of the spiritual stuff, it just, your head clashes. Yeah. So
it's a terrible thing. So, and then I believe after the spiritual one is also to check for like the goals and the aspirations. Like, what are you guys both chasing after? Some people are very ambitious. Some people not so ambitious, and you need to know and need to agree that like, okay, this person is direction, because a man is meant to lead in a relationship. Forget all the things that this old generation has done to, we are 50-50. Everyone should be respected in a relationship. Yeah. But according to God's design, you cannot have two people who are leading a vision. There has to be somebody who is leading the vision of a relationship. And so if you have two people, then you have division.
That was good. That was very good. That was very good.
So you can't have two visions in a relationship. It's going to lead to division, and that's the end of the two people. So one vision, and that vision has to come from the both of them, but the man has to lead the relationship. And with that, you can then start having a stable, you share each other's vision. Oh, okay, this is what I'm interested in. This is where I see myself going within the next few years and stuff like that. And this is how you would know that, like, okay, this person that I'm going on the same journey, we have a bright future together. We're going to work together. Because even like you're gonna hear like third party voices coming here and there saying like people say different stuff. But because you already have a conviction on like what you want and where you're going, it wouldn't mean as much. Do you get what I mean?
Yeah. That's very good.
Yeah.
That's really, really good.
See, what a session today.
Actually, I learned a lot. Like, there's a lot about like friendships that I just did not know. So like, I learned a lot.
Yeah, and again, just to say that, like, I'm not saying Hindus and Christians or Muslims and Christians or people who are atheists cannot be friends with. Like,
they can,
but that only, you can only limit that level of friendship to either acquaintanceship or casual friendship. It cannot grow into like intimacy that will lead into like a romantic relationship or marriage. Do you get what I mean? Because it's like you're building a foundation that is set to fail. Because you don't share the same faith. You don't think alike. You don't. Can like, two people work together except your
faith is like where your vision is, where your values stand. So like where if you have two different visions, two different values, it's like it's bound to fall apart.
And two people can be Christians and also they don't share the same faith.
That's true. Like even my sister Taya, first thing that comes to my head, Taya, she was like, I can't marry anybody outside of like my church or the.
I'm going to say our church name. Christ Embassy.
Out of Christ Embassy. And I was like, I actually get that because some Christians believe different things than other Christians. Like Catholics they pray to saints, whereas Protestants, they don't pray to saints. So like those things are
they can also be huge clashes. Obviously, Catholic will tell you that like Jesus is the son of Mary. But for you, we like a Protestant would not see it that way. You still believe that Jesus is like God himself, So like those dynamics, it creates like different. It's just really good to get it right, It's just really good to get it right and avoid an heartbreak and break fast. Well, guys, we've learned a lot today, and I hope you've also learned some things. Next week, we're also going to continue it. We'll probably discuss something. I don't know yet.
Yeah.
Well, I'll let you know. Thank you for watching. And again, a big thank you for our editor. We don't have a cameraman today. Actually, that camera might have stopped. Oh my God.
Oh, that's true.
But it's okay. Thank you very much for watching. See you next week. Bye-bye.
Bye.